Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Happy faces, smiley, happy people. We're going to know some affirmations together. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Well, can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. It's pretty simple, I think. The words are in your bulletin, but you don't need to look at those. You're just basically going to repeat after me. It's nice and simple. And I'm going to put on these glasses so that I don't mess it up. And if I do, it doesn't matter. Here we go. I am an expression of the Spirit. I am an expression of the Spirit. A beautiful expression of the Spirit. Magnificent expression of the Spirit. A unique, unrepeatable expression of God. 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 I am an expression of the Spirit. I am an expression of the Spirit. Right time, right place. An expression of the Spirit. I'm fabulous. I got it. An expression of the Spirit. A unique, unrepeatable expression of God. 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 I am an expression of the Spirit. I am an expression of the Spirit. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Hi, everybody. You know, I was reminded of this.
Maria.
Yes.
Microphone.
Oh. Here.
While she's getting in the microphone, also, can you make sure and mute this bass thing over here? Teresa might need help knowing how to do that. How to mute it. Awesome.
We're good.
Thank you.
We're good.
We are good.
Right? We're good.
Technical.
So as I was saying, I was recently reminded of this little beautiful poem, I would say, by Rumi, and I thought I'd share it with you today. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Today I accept all my guests, and I say thank you. Let's know that together. Today I accept all my guests, and I say thank you. And so it is.
Yeah, let's stand again. Well, not again. Stand for the first time. We've been sitting already. We're gonna sing together. Here we go. Away, 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 away. We are one in the Spirit. We are one. inside we change.
Well, life is gonna change when inside we change and take this journey to the heart.
You are my brother.
You are my brother and you are my sister, and neither one of us can live apart. We are one in the spirit. We are one in the world.
You're one in the world.
We are one in the spirit.
Oh.
Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn.
Involve yourself in, it's time to begin.
Involve yourself in, it's time to begin.
For the healing of this earth.
For the healing of the earth.
Many small steps here.
Many small steps here.
Millions of feet now.
Can carry everybody to rebirth. We are one in the spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn.
Oh, hey, oh, hey.
Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey.
So as you take yourself, give back to someone else.
So as you take yourself, give back to someone else.
All the nations
All the nations
here belong. Tear down illusion and shore up with truth.
till you and I, we sing a worldwide song. We are one in the spirit. We are one in the world.
Oh, we're one in the
We
world.
are one in the spirit. Everybody,
Oh,
every soul, everywhere
we are one in the spirit. We
are one in the spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Away, away. Away, away. Away, away. Away, away.
away, 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 away,
Away, away.
Do that again. Away, away,
Away, away. Away, away. Away, away. Away, away. Away, away. Away, away.
Ah, awesome. Take your spirit selves and go give somebody a hug and wish them a happy Sunday. Introduce yourself to somebody you don't know.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday again. We're out there. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
So good. Happy Sunday. I go sit. I go sit. Happy Sunday. Let's talk. Let's talk. Hi. Happy Sunday again.
Glad to see you early today.
Happy Sunday, Kenneth. Happy Sunday. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Happy Sunday, everyone. I love feeling all the love in the room. It's just absolutely fabulous. I'm Maria Corsaro-Hocco. I'm your platform assistant today. And today we welcome back Arlene Meyer, Reverend Arlene Meyer, who's been, you're really part of the family now. I feel like, but I need to say something about you because I was reading your bio and really loved this one quote. And so give me a second. I'm getting there. Oops. Here we are. So, Arlene has been working for 20 years with spirit and with people, connecting them together and changing lives. And she has said, and I love this quote, "I believe every person can change their lives no matter what their age or circumstances. For most people, it's just that we do not know how or do not have the support to do it. My hope, her hope, is to be a channel for the knowledge and support so people can truly become grateful for the life they have and to empower them to achieve the life they would like." And I think that's an amazing spiritual practice to take on in your world, in your life. So thank you for doing that. And of course, we have Mr. Kenneth Gartman as musical director. Anybody here for the first time? Hi, welcome.
Hello.
How'd you find out about us?
Looked you up.
All right. Well, you know, you're in for a treat.
I can see that.
You can see that already, right? We haven't even started. So welcome. We are so thrilled that you're here.
Thank you.
And we have a new mission statement and a new vision statement. And I just noticed this banner this morning, and I think it's gorgeous. Our mission is to empower individuals to be their authentic selves through practical spiritual teachings, music, inspirational messages, affirmative prayer, meditation, fellowship, and my favorite part, fun. Our vision, Unity Center of Norwalk, celebrates all creation as the radiant light of God, unified in peace, joy, and love. Those are beautiful, and we spent a whole weekend putting that together. Some of us didn't. It was a great weekend. We have some announcements. We have a very important membership meeting on July 28th after service. Please plan on attending. And we'll be updating, right? Just updating the state of our union, right? Also, Teresa has a class on Thursdays, Thankful Thursdays. Where are you, Teresa?
I'm here.
There you are, on sound. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Can you say a couple of words?
Sure. It's just an hour that we spend together to focus on what we're grateful for, and everybody leaves there feeling so much better after spending an hour basking in that kind of energy, and we have an opportunity to share what we're grateful for, and then we move on.
Yeah, cool.
So, and it's all on the website or in the newsletter to access it, to register, and then I send you a Zoom link. It's all on Zoom.
So, you know, that's a good point. If you go on to our website, or if you look in your bulletin, you'll see all of the announcements, and that's consistent over every single week. One more thing you should know about, there's a drum circle on Tuesday night. Please, if you're planning to attend, sign up. Thanks. One more thing about, okay, so you all contributed some money to the repair of the piano. We found out that the insurance covers it, but that money, and you agreed to it, went to the thermostat issue, but there's still a balance, and that's $43.32. If anyone would like to donate for that, that would be very welcome. And we need, you know, the floor. Have you looked at the floor in the hall? Gorgeous. Now we need baseboards to complete the look. So that is $81.51. Anyone who'd like to donate, it doesn't have to be one person, it could be several people to add up to that. That would also be very welcome. Thank you so much. And
I want to point out also, this Saturday is the Joe Dispenza meditation group this coming Saturday, and you're doing it's a walking meditation this week, this month, I should say. The details are on the bulletin board out there. It's easier for you to read it than it is for me to talk, and then you're not going to remember what I said anyway. So it's all on the board out there. But it says it's at Sherwood Island, and it says which walking meditation to download, so that then everybody's listening to the same walking meditation, and we're all doing it as a group, and that is this Saturday. It's always the fourth Saturday of the month for the meditation groups, but they're doing a different one. I don't know. It should be, hopefully it's on the poster out there.
Bring your umbrella.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a question for Lisa Gangemi, but the information should be on the poster, on the flyer, and in the newsletter. So, excellent. Oh, and in the community, Maria Corsaro on Saturday night is singing at Jazz on Main. So in Mount Kisco. So if you want to go have a nice night lovely night out with some dinner and some jazz by our very own Maria Corsaro. Why not?
Thank you, Kevin.
But it's just playing on August 3rd at Norwalk.
Oh, I'm gonna get that next week. 10.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful.
As you notice, I lit the Christ candle, and that's not to honor a person, it's to honor the truth that lies within all of us, the light of the divine truth that we all have access to all through our life, to answer all of our questions and to give us peace and joy and serenity. So, during this time when we say what we're grateful for, I always think, well, I never share, but that's because, to tell you the truth, there's so many things I'm grateful for, it's hard to choose. But something happened this past week I'd like to share with you. I was in rehearsal and I was singing so many wonderful songs, and at the end of the hour and a half, I just said out loud, "Oh, lucky me, how blessed I am to be singing this music, how grateful I am." And it reminded me of when I worked as a midwife, and after every single birth for 30 years, I would turn to the nurses and I would say, "Oh my God, we are so blessed to be doing this work." So I really felt the enormity of gratitude for what I have chosen to spend my time with in my life, regardless of what it is. I am grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I can feel grateful. Who else would like to share?
So my brother called me on Friday, and he was talking about going away, and a tree fell in our house, and they're trying to get it removed. And I said, "Oh, I can help." So Gloria and I went over to his house and spent 3 hours yesterday with him and his wife and our nephew Cyrus, 5 years old, 5 years old, one little joy. But I was able to help my brother without being asked, just go and take care of it, which was wonderful. And also, we were honored this weekend and blessed with our niece Jeanette, who's been staying with us for a while this summer, and she came back and sang an open mic last night, and she's here at church, so thank you.
Just grateful for open mic. We had such a wonderful time last night, new people. It's just such a joy to come, and usually I sing. I don't think I've ever been where I haven't, but and little things. I am grateful for coffee cup lids, because I'm a champion spiller. And finally we have coffee cup lids. Thank you, Manya, I'm grateful.
See, it's the little things in life. It doesn't have to be huge, right?
So I'm grateful for Kenneth Gartman and Deb Ontari, because I told Kenneth I probably wouldn't be at open mic or church on Sunday because I don't have a car. And I don't know, I was reluctant to call Deb, but I knew she would come anyway. She called me yesterday and said, Kenneth told me you might need a ride, so I'm coming to get you. So I was able to come to open mic, and I'm here today. Thank you guys.
Yay. Wonderful. Anyone else? Everybody's pointing in the wrong direction.
Right there.
Oh my goodness. I gotta take a train to get to you.
I'm just so grateful for all my friends and all the love I have in my life. I just came back from a 2-week trip with a girlfriend who built her own van and travels all over the country in her van. And she took me for 2 weeks. We saw the world, or the States, and then we just kept having party after party. And I just felt the love. So I'm just very grateful. I just love my life and all the people in it.
You're here. I second that emotion. Oh gosh. Now I gotta take a bus.
Did your steps for today?
I'm like you, I don't know where to start, but what I want to say is I missed open mic last night, but I went to an amazing concert with my husband. It was a birthday gift to him, and it was a concert I did not think I was going to like. I was like, oh man, I got to do this for him, but it was great.
What was it?
It was Brit Floyd, and it was 8th row on the floor, so I was ready to shoot myself before I went, because I did not think I was going to like it, but it was great. We had a great time. I had a great time, so that's what I'm grateful for.
Yes, surprises. Oh. I'm hitting every corner of the room.
So yeah, glad you came over this way and made the trip. This week I got to, I had a partner in my 20s, and we were together for 13 years. The breakup was not a pretty one, but over the years we've made amends. And this week I got to take his sister and her husband, their kids, and his dad, and we spent several days together down the Jersey Shore. And I got to make my amends to them. And you know, we haven't really spoken in many years and stuff, and we just had a wonderful time. I got to know his nephews, and we just had a blast. And I'm so grateful for second chances and you know, recovery and being, you know, getting connected. So love you.
Thank you. Getting connected, being connected to those that we haven't seen in a while, being connected to folks that see our need and go for it and help another friend. You know, whether it is a small thing like a lid on a coffee cup, or a big, huge thing like making amends, or really, really feeling the connection that you have to spirit through other people. We are eternally grateful for all that we have in our life. Let's know that together. Today, I'm eternally grateful for all in my life. Today, I am eternally grateful for all in my life. One more time. Today, I'm eternally grateful for all in my life. Actually, we should make it 3. Today, I am eternally grateful for all in my life, and so it is.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, there is peace. Let's know that in the stillness of this moment, I am peace. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am peace. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. peace. I am peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am peace. Let's know that I am love in the stillness of this moment. In the stillness of this moment I am love. I am love. In the stillness of this moment I am love. I am love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am love. Let's take a deep breath together and let it all out. And we're going to let that take us into our God vibration, which will then lead us into our meditation with Reverend Arlene. And for those of you who are new, all we do is we take the word God and we just intone it. We vibrate. You'll get the hang of it. Let's take a deep breath, and here we go like this. God. Let's breathe and do it one more time here. And last time.
And so I invite you to take that word, God, and just take a deep breath and breathe it in and hold it deep within you. And then release it through the exhalation. In the stillness of this moment, this very moment in time, is the only time that we can truly experience the presence of God. For God is here in every breath that we take, in every beat of our heart, in every cell of our being. There is nowhere that we can be that God is not. And knowing that, we know that we are never alone. God is with us, as us. And remembering that helps us to remember that at any time in our day, we can just stop and watch the breath and know that God is there. And when we acknowledge the presence of God, we become an expression of God in this world. That is our only purpose in this world. And so I invite you now to just breathe and know that God is as close to us as the breath that we take. And so we breathe and sit in the silence, acknowledging the presence of God within us.
take a breath together and release it. This song, I invite you just to stay in that place. Contemplative, eyes closed. I remember seeing this musical many years ago, and there was this moment where this character realized she needed to leave her family and her husband and try to figure out how to forge a path for herself. And that was something I couldn't necessarily relate to in that moment, in that way. And but I still found it very moving. And then I was listening to the soundtrack on the way home, and I realized how it could relate to me. It doesn't matter what. Sometimes we need to leave things, habits, ways of being that don't serve us anymore. Sometimes we get lost, or we're being enabled by substance, by who knows. We all have different vices that sometimes don't serve us anymore. And sometimes we have to make the decision to move on, whatever that is for us. So anyway, I'm leaving. I thought you'd like to know. You're faithful, come what may, but clearly I can't stay. We both go mad that way. So here I go. And anyway, I'm leaving. I guess that you can see I'll try this on my own, a life I've never known. I'll face the dread alone, but I'll be free. With you always beside me to catch me when I fall. I never get to know the feel of solid ground at all. With you always believing that we can still come through. It makes me feel the fool to know that it's not true. What doctors call dysfunction, we tried to call romance. And true, it's quite a trick to tell the dancer from the dance. But rather than let chance take me, I'll take a chance. I'll take a chance on leaving. It's that or stay and die. I loved you once, and though you love me still, I know it's time for me to fly. I loved you once, and though I love you still, I know it's time for me to go. And so, goodbye.
Thank you. Oh my God, that song. So that song is really powerful because it's actually one of the reasons why I'm talking about letting go as we swing through life. So I've always been the queen of letting go. My husband once got me a t-shirt and it said, "Family got a grip when I learned to let go." And I always say that on my epitaph it's going to say, "She finally let go." And with all that letting go, you would think it would be easy, but it's not. And that song brought up a lot. So a couple years ago, my husband of many years passed away, and I had a church in California, and I loved the church. And it was someone in my congregation. I was turning 80. And someone in my congregation said to me, she says, "Oh, when I turned 80, I jumped out of a plane." And I said, "Well, I'm jumping out of my life," and which is what I did. So I left the ministry, I left my home, I packed up my car, and I drove across the country and had no idea what I was going to do. I figured I had family on the East Coast, so at least I would be near family. And I said to her, "You jumped out of a plane, I'm jumping out of my life." And saying goodbye is really hard. But what I knew is that I had to say goodbye to that in order to be whatever was next for me to be. And even though I didn't know what it was, I knew that somehow it was going to be okay. Because what I've learned about letting go is that it always turns out okay. But the thing is that we hold on. We hold on to stuff because it's familiar. We like things that are familiar. I guarantee you that almost everybody here has got a drawer in their house where they are holding on to all kinds of things. Things that sometimes may be like a rubber band that doesn't even cost that much. In the fear that I'm going to need a rubber band, I'm not going to have a rubber band. Like, you can't go to a store and get a rubber band. The other thing is that I've learned that if I don't hold on to stuff, when something comes up and I need it, I remember something that my husband always taught me, and that was everything we need is within 5 feet of us. Now, I have to tell you, this has happened over and over and over again. You need something and you don't have it, and you look around, and if you stop and meditate on the idea that everything I need is within 5 feet, you will find something that works. It may not be a rubber band, it may be a string, but you can get the string to do what the rubber band did. And so we hold on to stuff because of fear. We're afraid that if somehow we let this go, we won't be able to replace it. If we let go of a relationship, we won't be able to replace it. If we let go of an addiction, who will we be? If we let go of a job, who will we be? Retirement is very hard for people because it's like, if you let go of what you do, who are you? Because most of us in our life, we identify ourselves by what we do. And so we have trouble letting go because we think that's it. And the thing that's interesting is that even if what we're holding on to is terrible, we still hold on to it. I have to tell you, women stay in abuse and men stay in abusive relationships because they're afraid of letting go, even though what they've got isn't good. So one of my favorite stories about that is actually from the Old Testament. So I grew up Jewish. I didn't like the whole thing about religion. I just never made any sense to me. God never made any sense to me. I was always questioning it. So I never went to synagogue, temple, or anything else. So the only thing I knew about Judaism was the Passover Seder, because we always had a Seder. And the Passover Seder is about the Israelites and when they leave Egypt. So what happens is the Israelites are slaves. Now they're slaves, folks. They don't have anything to say about their life. They have a roof over their head. They have a job. They don't get paid for the job, but they have a job. And they're okay. They're okay with their misery. And then one day, Moses comes to them because he had this word from God, and he says, "We're going to leave, and we're going to the Promised Land." And they're thinking, "I don't want to go to the Promised Land. Where is the Promised Land? What's going to be in the Promised Land? I have a house here. I have a job. I have friends. Why would I want to go there?" And they don't want to go, and the Pharaoh doesn't want them to go. So God intercedes and throws plagues on them, and they have no choice but they have to leave. Now, I grew up Jewish, and I have to tell you that as a whole, we like to complain. Jewish people like to complain. And so they leaving Egypt. Now Egypt metaphysically represents the material world. And so they have to leave the materiality of their world and go into an unknown. And they are not happy about it. How many times have you got to leave something and you were not happy about it? And what do? You murmur, complain. The whole way they're complaining. So they're complaining and they leave Egypt and they get to the Red Sea. And all of a sudden, Pharaoh is coming after them. And they start really complaining, even louder. You know, you got us to this place, we're at the Red Sea, the Pharaoh is after us, he's gonna kill us all, we can't get through the Red Sea. And Moses is like, stop complaining, God's got this. You know, and they don't believe him. So the story is that God divides the Red Sea and they go through it. Well, a couple of years ago, there was a movie called Of God and Kings. It was a remake of this story. And in this movie, what's interesting is when Moses walks into the Red Sea and the people have to follow him, the Red Sea has not divided. They start walking into the water. They actually get to about waist deep before the waters start to part. And when you think about it, that's what happens in our life. Very often we have to take a step and we cannot see what it is. The sea isn't parting, but we know because God has led us to believe that this is where we're supposed to go, that we walk into the water, parted or not. And so it was so interesting with this movie. So in the story, the Red Sea parts, the Israelites go through, the Pharaoh follows, the Red Sea drowns everybody. Now you would think that they would get the message. But the Israelites also metaphysically represent us as basically teenage spiritual people, not adults. And so they get into the desert, and what do? Have you ever had a teenager? What do? They complain and complain and complain. It doesn't matter what you do for them. They're going to figure out a way to complain. And they're in the desert and they're moaning and groaning and complaining and all of that, you know, and they don't have food, they don't have water. So what does God do? He provides them manna, which is food from heaven. Are they happy with that? No. Why? Because God gives them enough food for the day. They need food for tomorrow. Right? We get things for today, we're grateful for today, but we're complaining because maybe tomorrow we won't have them. And, you know, but God gives them enough for today. So they are getting ready to go into the promised land. And what's interesting is they don't get to go into the promised land until every single person, with the exception of 2 people, die that came out of Egypt, including Moses. And what that means metaphysically is we don't get to step into our next phase until all of our old thinking disappears. You know, unity was known as a new thought movement. New thought. We have to change the way we think in order to change our life. We don't get to go into a new life with our old thinking. We have to change that. You know, Jesus, so when the rich man, when your rich young man comes up to Jesus and goes, I want to follow you. And Jesus says, okay, you know, give up all your wealth and you can come follow me. And the young guy goes, you want me to give up my money? I don't want to give up my money. You know, my money is who I am. And Jesus says, bye. Well, it wasn't that Jesus didn't want him to have money. I'm sure Jesus wanted him to have money because he had a lot of expenses and he didn't work. So I'm sure he was very happy that this rich guy, but what it was is that he was attached to that. And what Jesus was saying is you can't have 2 gods. You can't have me and money. You know, so you have to be able to give that up. So we learn that we have to let go of things that hold us back. And a lot of those things is old thinking. And the reason we're afraid is that we don't believe, even though we may say it and affirm it, at some point in our core of being, we are not sure God is going to be there. We affirm it, but we're not sure God's going to be there. So I had something that happened to me many years ago, which at the time I didn't realize was actually all about this. But my kids were little. They're now in their 50s. But they were little, and they were 10, 12, two boys. I don't know if you have boys, but boys at that age love to make fun of their mothers. At least mine did. So we go to Disney World. We lived in Miami. We go to Disney World, and I didn't have money for a second day in Disney World, so I decided to take them to Circus World. Circus World was put up by Ringing Barnum and Bailey, and it was this place, and they had animals, and they had a big top. And what they did is they had a circus, and they would pick people from the audience to participate in the circus acts. So they had high wire, and they had the animal trainer, and they had people acting as clowns and everything, and they brought people from the audience. So the last act in a circus is usually the trapeze act. And I don't know if I'm a big movie buff, so in all the movies about circuses, the trapeze act always has three people. They have an older guy, a younger guy, and a beautiful woman. So in the movie Big Top, the older guy was played by Burt Lancaster, the younger guy by Tony Curtis, and the woman was played by Gina Lollobrigida. So I'm going to call them Tony, Burt, and Gina. So the ringmaster says, do we have a volunteer? Now I am 5 feet tall on my best day, and I do not like heights. And my children know I do not like heights. They decide to volunteer me. So they start going, pick her, pick her, pick her. And the ringmaster thinks this is really funny, that these boys are volunteering their mother. So guess who they pick? Me. Now, I could have said no, but I never, ever would have heard the end of it if I had said no. So I get up and I walk to the bottom of the stairs, and I am thinking, how am I going to kill these children and get away? Because they are not making it home. If I make it out of here alive, they're not making it home. So I get to the bottom of the stairs, and Bert is there. And Bert says to me, take off your shoes. He says, you're going to climb up the ladder. You're going to get up there. Gina's up there. Gina's going to tell you what to do. Tony is on the other platform, and Gina will explain everything. I'm thinking, maybe to you he's going to explain, but not to me. But before I know it again, because I don't know what else to do, and I have to tell you, it was before the time in my life when I was clean and sober. So that may explain why I climbed up the stairs, because I don't quite remember that. But I know I went up the stairs, and I got to the platform, and Gina says to me, this is what's going to happen. I'm thinking, I can tell you what's going to happen. It's not what you think is going to happen. And they said, Tony is going to come out from his platform, and you're going to go out from this platform, and you're going to swing out, and Tony's going to swing out, and Tony's going to scream, let go. And you're going to let go, and he's going to catch you. I'm thinking, not I'm going to bite you. So I think I'm just not going to grab the trapeze. If I don't grab the trapeze, I'm not going to be going out over there. And the next thing I know, she takes my hand, she puts it on the trapeze, she pushes me out. Now I'm going out there. Tony comes from the other one, and Tony screams to me, let go. I scream, hell no. He goes back, I go back. He comes out again, I come out again. He screams, let go. My words get a little more colorful. 3-4 times this happens. He's screaming, let go, and I'm screaming profanities, which are getting deeper and deeper. And I'm also thinking I had contact lenses. They're going to probably fall out of my head. They're going to wind up on someone's forehead. I don't know what's going to happen. Everybody is laughing. My children are laughing so loud, they're on the ground. They can barely sit. They're laughing so loud. This is going on. And, everyone thinks this is funny. Finally, Tony gives up. He gives up. He goes back to his platform. He thinks this lady is crazy. I'm going to be up here all day. I'm going back to my platform. Now, I am on a trapeze by myself over the big top. Now, there was a net, but I thought, I'm going to fall in this net. I'm going to bounce out of the net, because they always seem to bounce out, right? I'm going to hit my head. I'm going to have a concussion. It's going to serve my children right. They're going to have to figure out how they're getting home on their own. So I'm up there and I'm hanging, and eventually the trapeze stops moving. And I am just hanging there. Have you ever seen the picture of the cat hanging onto a trapeze, and it's something about letting? That was me. I was like holding on for dear life. And then what happened is my hands started to hurt. And then my arms started to hurt. And then my shoulders started to hurt. And I was in so much pain that eventually I was in so much pain, physical pain, I had no choice but decide I was probably going to die that day and let go of the trapeze. And what was interesting, what happened was very interesting, and I didn't realize this until many years later. When I fell into the net, instead of bouncing out and landing on my head and having a concussion or dead or whatever, I landed in the net, and the net came up and engulfed me. And that, folks, is God. This is what happens when we let go. When we truly let go, whatever we fall into, we are not falling into it alone. God's grace is always there, engulfing us, keeping us safe, letting us know that whatever is going on, it's going to be okay. Will it be the way we want it? Maybe not. Will the results be what we think we should have for ourselves? Maybe not. But the fact of the matter is that God's grace is always greater than anything we can figure out for ourselves. I always like to say that God's will doesn't take me where God's grace doesn't keep me. And so I think now always of letting go as allowing God's grace to fill me. So I can get in the car and drive across the country. Did anything happen in the last year I thought was going to happen? No. And so, you do this gratitude thing and everyone says what they're grateful for. We're grateful for everything. My favorite gratitude is I am grateful for everything I have and everything I don't have. I am grateful for everything I am and everything I'm not. I am grateful for everything that is and everything that is not. Because God works in our lives in ways that we don't always see. It isn't sometimes what we get, it's what we don't get. It isn't so much like what we achieve as sometimes the lessons we learn by what we don't achieve. And I remember that. Whenever I have to let go, I remember that net. And I sometimes just close my eyes and I just picture this net of God's grace just coming around me and keeping me safe. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. And think about maybe something that you're thinking about letting go of, or you think you should let go of, you don't want to let go of, or some fear you may have about something. Teresa talked about fear last week, about some fear that something may not be the way you think it should be. And just take a deep breath and just feel the grace and love of God surrounding you, enfolding you, keeping you safe. Knowing that that grace is always with us. We may not see it, we may not feel it at the moment, but we know it to be true. And we know that God's will not take us, or God's grace will not keep us. And so we can release and we can let go, knowing we live and breathe and have our being in the very presence and grace of God. And for that, we are truly grateful. And so it is.
Change everywhere I am. I've been stuck in the rut, I've been caught up, yeah, it happens fast. I'm moving to where I wanna begin, yeah. I wanna find new life and see new eyes and breathe again. I'm gonna stop now, take a breath. It's all so crazy. Yeah, I'm ready to let go. Looking forward to don't know. Forget about yesterday and get away and live in the right now. Yeah, I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to follow. Anywhere the road bends, where it ends, I don't know. Let go. Oh, we live in the future, and we've got our regrets, yeah. 'Cause we don't live in, we don't get into the present tense. It's hectic in my mind, gonna leave it behind. 'Cause I'm ready to let go, looking forward to don't know. Forget about yesterday and get away and live in the right now. Yeah, I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to follow. Anywhere the road bends, where it ends, I don't know. Don't wanna overthink it, don't wanna worry too much. Gonna live my life and not lose touch. I'm gonna let go. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to follow. Anywhere the road bends, where it ends, I don't know. So let it go. Yeah, I'm gonna let it go. Oh, let it go. Oh, 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 oh.
That's like the perfect song. You picked really good ones this week. Not like every other week, you know. It's time of our spiritual offering. Now, I think of this place as my spiritual gym. You know, I go to the YMCA and I get in some other places to tone up my body. I come here to tone up my spiritual core, which is actually the most important part of who I am. And so we're giving you an opportunity now to give to your spiritual co-op. And because we come here and we learn the truth, we're reminded of things that perhaps we've forgotten about, or we learn new spiritual practices and new spiritual truths. And one of the truths is, as we give, we receive. And if you feel as if you received something towards your spiritual core, your spiritual center, then we ask you to think about giving. And you know what? Giving has never been easier. So it says in the bulletin. We now offer several convenient ways to give your tithes and offerings in addition to cash and checks. You can text to give. Text the amount you'd like to give. And there's a number in your bulletin. I'll just read it out loud. Why not? It's here, 203-350-7713. The first time you text, you will be prompted to provide your payment method via a secure web page. So I'm going to ask Manya to pass along the offering bags. But before we do that, let's know our prayer of what's it called? Prosperity. And if you could hold your offering in your heart or in your hands, let's say this together. It's also in your bulletin. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need.
We say thank you, God. Thank you for each and every person in this room, for all the blessings that the universe gives through you. We thank you for the wonderful message and music and spiritual truths that we have learned today. Thank you. As we have given, we have received, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. And thank you, Maria Corsaro, for being our platform assistant today. Reverend Arlene, for your words of wisdom. Ashley Chia, I think, is on hospitality, if I am correct. Teresa Krisky on lights and sound. Steve Bustamante, getting us out into the world on all the audio-visual business. Our greeters, you were pointing over here. Donna. Donna was a greeter. Well, hello. Thank you for greeting today. I'm always here before the greeter, so I don't ever know who is officially doing it until we get to this point. Our board member on duty is Manya. Manya stepped in and is our board member today. Thank you, Joyful Noise, for participating as always. And if you need someone to pray with you after the service or want someone to pray affirmatively with you after the service, just find someone. There are people. Teresa's a prayer chaplain. Deb's a prayer chaplain. Maria's a prayer chaplain. I'm sure you could wrangle somebody to pray with you, because why not? It's what we do. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's always good to do the things. So let's all stand and let's know our prayer for protection, which is right here. It's in your bulletin as well. And then we'll sing our way out together. And y'all can come up on the stage if you want. Yeah. And it's the one that's the light of God surrounds us, that one. Here we go. So it's the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us,
the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
All is well. With each step we're moving higher, with each step we're moving on. With each step we're moving higher, on to higher ground. With each step we're moving higher, with each step we're moving on. With each step we're moving higher, on to higher ground. Blessed are we peacemakers, blessed are we peacemakers. On this journey day to day, we shall live immersed in love. We shall live immersed in love. As we seek the highest way. As we seek the highest way. With each step we're moving higher. With each step we're moving on. With each step we're moving higher. On to higher ground. With each step we're moving higher. With each step we're moving on. With each step we're moving higher. On to higher ground.
And so as you leave here, just remember that you don't leave here alone, that wherever you God's grace is the net that surrounds you as you walk through your day. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.